What's up, what's up, what's up, my friends? Welcome. Get ready. Grab a snack and a bevy. It's time for you and I to have a chit-chat. Straight up facts. Tell it like it is. Laugh till you pee your pants. Cry because you probably needed to. And I can't promise, and I'm not going to throw any F-bombs, but I can promise you'll feel a lot better after listening. It's time to get personal, one-on-one, down and dirty, and have a coffee talk. Buckle up. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. It is May 18th. People, it's gone by so quick. I'm telling you, it's going by. I hope all of you mothers had an amazing Mother's Day. We're going to talk about that. I'm Denise. This is Finding Calm in the Chaos Special Edition Coffee Talk Saturday. And don't forget, I get to cuss all I want on this one. They accidentally sneak out on some of the other ones, but oh well. Okay, so I have been getting tons of messages from everybody regarding the Buster tick stuff. And I will tell you that right now, so we have him on the Fur Life collar attachment plus Frontline now, and it looks like it's working. So I think now that he's had it for like 3 days, we've seen a significant increase in, as we're like rubbing his head and all that. We're not feeling them. We had like a stray one the other day that was engorged, but I think that was from last week. So we got that. He's getting his coconut oil rubs to make sure that he's not getting any infections. He doesn't have any open sores or anything like that. So thank you for asking about him. I am going to call the vet for next year and get him on a chew for that. To me, I figure he's healthy. I told you guys I wasn't totally opposed to a prescription, but I just think it'll be easier for our creep out level. So that's what we're going to do. I finally am able to like sleep, sorta. Okay, this is what I thought. So last night I went to bed and I was so tired, like exhausted, because I had been doing stuff all week. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit about Mother's Day. We'll talk about, there's a lot of stuff that happened over the last week. Okay. So it is insane how I'm just finding this out. So there is a menopausal symptom that apparently a lot of people get that people don't talk about. And that's the heebie-jeebies. If you know, you know. But apparently, because of like hormones and dry skin and all of these changes that happen with your skin and hydration and all of that, that sometimes you can get like these little feelings on you, like stuff is crawling on you. And I get that shit all the time. And since the whole tick buster situation, I have been wigged the fuck out. Okay. Like all of a sudden I'm just like, well, there's just something on my foot. Nope. Just nothing there. Not a damn thing is there. I can look at my exposed leg and I know that right now I am feeling like some big ass centipede is crawling on it and there is nothing there. I'm looking right at it and I'm like, brain, you need to stop this shit right now. You need to stop this shit so I can sleep. So I went to bed. I was so fucking tired, you guys, like tired. I'm trying to do more and more, but I can't catch up. And in all honesty, we're going to talk a little bit about it on this episode as well. But because I love Mr. Sith, but he has been in this huge husband lazy ass mode. And it's really bugging the fuck out of me. I'm not going to lie. So I have been doing a ton of stuff because I wait for him to do it and he just never does it. But again, he always has time for fucking games and it drives me nuts. And people always ask, oh, my husband never plays games on his phone. My husband plays games on his phone and on PlayStation and Minecraft and all this other weird shit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested in that. I got too much shit to do than to worry about fucking games. That's how you know you're legitimately living in the real world, when you ain't playing games. I play a game at night when I go to bed to put me to bed. Because every time I start playing this game, it just knocks me out. I'm like, sweet. So I go to bed and I can tell that if I just lay the fuck down, I'm going to go to sleep. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to go to sleep. And I went to bed. It was 11:45 or 44 p.m. that I went, and I knew I was going to bed. And then all of a sudden, I just physically remember. So I went to bed. I don't remember anything, right? So obviously I'm sleeping. All of a sudden, now, mind you, for the disclaimer, I sleep in the guest room because Mr. Sith fucking snores and grinds his teeth. I cannot sleep next to him. I can't sleep anyway, but I would rather be in the guest room in peace and quiet, listening to an Audible book, crocheting because I have my own light. I don't have to worry about disturbing him, playing a little game. Sometimes I just sit up and I'll read a book in the chair in the guest room, rather than not sleeping, laying next to him and wanting him to choke him the fuck out because all I hear is teeth grinding. This is much better for all of us. Okay. So everyone's like, wait, what? You don't sleep with your husband? Fuck no. Not to actually get sleep. I don't. So I am out like a light. I'm assuming, right? All of a sudden, this is all I remember. I remember being instantly awake, I think. Okay. And there is a fucking bug on my forehead. I was like, woo, woo, woo. That's how I woke up. I jump out of bed. I put all the lights on. You would think a huge millipede was on my forehead. There's nothing. I'm looking around for like a gnat. Nothing. I'm telling you, I think it was one of those, just either I was dreaming it, or because the whole tick situation probably has me all wigged out, or I think I just had one of those menopausal phantom creepy crawly skin situations, and it just caught me at a weird time. This is the best part. I go to grab my phone because I'm not sleeping now. Word. Okay. I go to sit on the chair and I'm just going to like read or listen to Audible until I fall asleep on the chair, right? Because that's on the opposite side of the bed. Now I'm dying right now because I'm like laughing to myself that I literally sounded so ridiculous waking up like that. Like, woo, woo, woo. Really? Really, Denise? So I open my phone and I look at the fucking time. And it's 12:15 and I'm like, this happened in less than 25 minutes. Are you kidding me right now? I felt like I had slept like for 8 hours. It was ridiculous. I was like, what is wrong with you, girl? God. So now my lower back hurts because I slept in a chair. There's that. What else is going on? Oh, so why was I so tired? Okay, so obviously all of you guys know that I started decluttering and cleaning the house, right? I'm getting rid of everything that is not necessary, okay? I don't want shit in boxes. I don't want nothing, okay? I want to minimalize everything here. It's just not needed. I don't want things anymore, okay? So I did my half of the bedroom, the real bedroom, the big bedroom. And Mr. Sith was supposed to do his. And I've been waiting for 2 months. He has like 4 drawers, 2 actually, because he did the rest. But he has a junk drawer. He didn't touch it. I'm like, really? Like nothing. I'm like, plus he was supposed to do that so that we can move up. I know this sounds insane, and I don't think she listens. I hope not, because it's almost embarrassing. But we bought a bedroom set off of a friend who moved out of state like a year and a half ago. Okay. and we got the bed upstairs, but the freaking dressers are still in our garage. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, we need to just bring these upstairs and get rid of these college dressers. Like, can I have a big girl bedroom, please? And so my niece is coming this weekend and she's helping us doing that. Actually, I'm recording this obviously early, but she will be coming on. It would have been yesterday. She's already here. Okay. The time of you guys listening to this, she already here. So I'm hoping to get it because I still have to power wash the deck and get all the summer stuff out. We didn't do any of that because we're behind because we don't have the pool this year, which is saving me tons of money and tons of time. But it also has kind of delayed you got to start now because you got to open the pool for Memorial Day. And I didn't do that. I'm like, nope, don't have to do it. Boom shakalak. So I cleaned the whole bedroom. So not only did I clean the bedroom and weed through everything in Mr. Sith's drawer, then I also started redoing the bedroom. Like, I'm moving shit, I'm cleaning behind it, and I'm doing this by myself. And Peter helped me with two things, which bless his little heart, he was able to help me with, but I'm moving like major furniture with lupus. So I'm already knowing that if I stop, I am not starting again. And then I'm realizing, you know what? This is exactly why I asked Mr. Sith to do this, because he is 40 fucking years old and he should have no problem doing any of this. I am 54 years old and I'm like an idiot trying to move this furniture around when I know I have lupus and rheumatoid arthritis and I am going to hurt like a mofo. So, of course, I already hurt. And then all of my plans for the day of what I was going to clean all of upstairs was not going to happen because I had to cut my losses while I could. And so he came home. I stopped doing it. I just did my room and the bathroom, the master bath and the closet. Got that all done, all mopped, all cleaned, all dusted. We're all aired out. It's good to go. It's like spanking new. He comes home from work. He goes upstairs. He comes downstairs. He doesn't say a fucking word. I'm like, I'm sorry. Normally, this would be the time where you're like, hey, thanks for doing all that shit upstairs. And then I always have to immediately follow that comment with, and don't say it now because I've already said it. That makes me nuts. When people do stuff and they're like, what? And I'm like, how about sorry? Sorry? Nope, not now. Too late. We waited 10 minutes. You had 10 minutes to say you were sorry. I don't do that. I'm sorry. School of Hard Knocks here. Gen X. If you don't like it, I don't fucking care. Gen X. We do not care. So let me give you an understanding of why that had particularly agitated me. So let's go backwards now to Mother's Day. Now, mind you, I planned something for Mother's Day for me and my mom, right? So I went and signed up for high tea at my favorite coffee shop, which is Irie Cup in Huntley, Illinois. They have online ordering, but they have amazing tea blends, loose leaf. I highly recommend. And that's Irie, I-R-I-E, Cup, C-U-P, and it's in Huntley, Illinois. They ship domestically. Amazing tea. That said, they're doing high teas on Sundays. And I was like, oh, I'm totally getting in on this one. And I did. And my mom was like, I don't drink tea, but I think that'd be really nice. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she wound up ordering their tea called Coffee Break, which is very reminiscent of Café du Monde, very chicory root-ish. But I told her just steep the tea and then just make it like you would coffee with your cream and sugar, and it'll taste like coffee. And she really liked it. She was like, oh yeah, you're right. Food was amazing. They did such a good job. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So very good. We went with my friend Cheryl, who is Dr. Peterson to Peter, our tutor and co-op teacher, and then her mom, who was delightful. So I had already planned that. So I knew I was going to have a good time, and I did, and it was fabulous. We went to church in the morning. that worked out. I was like, okay, I couldn't get my coffee because church is having problems with like Bluetooth connection between their Square and their POS tablet. It drives me nuts, but I got to start bringing coffee or bringing cash. But I never have cash. So it's like, so I'll have to work that out for this Sunday. But that aside, so we have church, we come home, my mom comes with my dad, we go to have tea. The deal was Mr. Sith is not big on holidays. I don't know how else to put this, okay? He has issues with emotions and communication. I'm going to just leave it at that. I knew what I was walking into. But it's like pulling fucking teeth out of somebody to have a conversation with him when we're trying to sort through stuff. We're getting there. But I'm really starting to get hardcore because my requests have been very clear and very, calm in how I say it. But all I wanted for Mother's Day was for them to do my floors downstairs and the stairs. So only the wooden stairs, which is downstairs because we have vinyl upstairs. So the main floor, sweep, vacuum, mop, do the almond oil for me. Awesome. Peter got me an awesome card. I loved it. Mr. Sith did not get me anything. That's fine. Then he told me he was going to make dinner for me. Okay, cool. Great salad, something, whatever. I'm sure he can make whatever. I got tons of cookbooks. You could surprise me. You can go buy something. Put it on a plate for me. I'd be all happy. That sounds wonderful. I don't have to think about something. That's very thoughtful. You do my floors and make me dinner. Then I find out his mother's coming. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. We have a new rule. The rule where nobody comes on the fucking holidays anymore? Like what? We're not entertaining. This is my rule since the last Christmas, which is why it was called Last, L-A-S-T, Christmas, because I'm not fucking entertaining people anymore. Okay? Number one, they don't fucking appreciate the effort that I put in. Not anybody I fucking come from my family. Number two, because everyone winds up ruining my day when I'm the one doing it all. Like I want to be the center. I don't know how else to tell you this. It's Mother's Day. I've raised an amazing fucking young man. He is amazingly smart. He is amazingly creative. He is a good dang boy. I want you to honor fucking me. It's my day. Me. I was told I couldn't even have kids. I fucking produced one. It's my day, not your mom's day. It's my day. Okay? You can send your mom a card. Now, I want to preface this before everyone gets all fucking crazy and is like, well, it's mom's day and it's his mom and you did something with your mom. And okay, here's the deal. He doesn't ever call his mom. Ever. They don't have that kind of relationship. I am usually the one that prods him into calling his mom to see how she's doing. But somehow I'm always the asshole. That's another podcast. However, so he doesn't have that kind of relationship with her, but she will call and invite herself over when I've repeatedly told her that I am not hosting those anymore. Now, if you want to stop by because you're at his sister's house and here's a card, nice little visit, bye-bye, see you later. But no, it doesn't work that way with her because both of our families are knee deep in dysfunction. So this is part of the this is my safe space area. So I hope that helps understand to people. I would love to have the kind of family where everybody's fucking mother comes over and everybody does something and plants and makes dinner and we all eat cakes and coffee at the table. That's not my fucking family. Or his family. I would love that to be. I hope I'm that for Peter and his wife. I hope I am that mom. I'm trying everything to be that mom. But right now, no. It's no. Okay? I enjoyed 75 minutes with my mom at tea. We had a great time. And then to keep it that way, so there's no like weird shit that goes on, she goes home. Boom. That's how you have a good day in my family, right? You do it, you go home. His mom invited herself over and he doesn't know how to say fucking no, which is bothering me because it's like, okay, you don't want me to bitch, but you can't say no. So I don't know what to tell you anymore. You're a grown ass man. You need to work this out. It's not on me. See, I used to take it on me. And that's the problem. If you're in a relationship with someone who has, ineffective communication, they really can drive you insane. I'm talking committal insane. Until you really realize and have to draw a line in that you are not responsible for their behaviors or their lack of. So you don't have to take that on. That has truly helped me. Like, as God is my witness, amen. It has truly helped me in my relationship with Mr. Sith because I love him to death. Okay. I love him with all my heart. He's an amazing provider. He's an amazing father. He does weird shit every now and then, but what dad doesn't? Okay. But when it comes to knowing how to make me feel appreciated, he's got zero fucking clue. And he gets that from his upbringing. And that's not on me to change. I got to work on my childhood traumas. He needs to work on his. And it was literally, I can stand before you guys and talk today, and that I'm proud that I can identify that difference right now, because it was making me kind of crazy at the beginning of our marriage. And so I can separate that those issues come from his childhood traumas, and he needs to address those, but I don't need to accept those. Does that make sense? So I can only just keep demanding what I need in our relationship and keep insisting on working on how to make us closer. But it is not my responsibility to heal his childhood traumas. That's on him. And if he doesn't do that, then he's just made his life hella more difficult. But that's not my issue either. You know what I'm saying? It is my issue a little when he does stupid shit like this. But his mom comes. Okay, so I personally think his mother has some sort of mental decapacitation going on, possible dementia. I don't know this. I'm not a therapist. I'm not her doctor. And I really can't ever get a straight answer out of her in a regular situation, let alone in a situation where I'm asking about her mental capacity. But I do know one thing. She should not be driving. And she is. Because she can't drive anywhere without becoming lost. Now, I'm not surprised by this because Mr. Sith often will still drive past our house and our streets because I'm not quite sure where their mind is, but it's not on driving. Coming from the man who totaled his car in a parking lot accident. So his mother drives the same. Apple doesn't fall far from that shitty driving tree. Okay. So she was coming from the north of us this time. Because she lives to our northeast, I'm sorry. And so it usually takes her about an hour. Well, it should take someone about an hour, 10 minutes to get from her city to my city. But it takes her about an hour and a half because she has no fucking clue and she drives like a turtle. She really has no business driving. Then she's coming from 25 minutes north of me. And then 45 minutes later, it's a shit show. It's always a shit show. She always gets lost coming to our house. Yes, she has GPS. I can't explain this, people. I do not know. I do not know how you can possess GPS and still not make it to someone's house. I don't. So I just tend to just dismiss it. I can't, you can't dwell on it. So Mr. Sit said he was going to make dinner. So I thought, shit, like, what am I going to get? What do I want? He made the national dish of Slovakia, which is halušky brinza, which y'all know how I'm trying to eat because I'm sensitive to dairy and all that kind of stuff, which is essentially potato spatzel in cream cheese, brinza, which is like a feta cheese, sheep, not shrimp, shrimp cheese. Oh, it's basically a feta, but it's a sheep's cheese. It's brined, and bacon fat, the grease from the bacon, like you literally just pour it into a pot with bacon. Yeah. Can you say heart attack? But for me, can you say I'm going to spend my evening on the fucking toilet? Not the dish I would pick for my choice for Mother's Day, but it sure ass sounds like something his mother would want. So I was like, okay. So I came home from tea to basically the entire fucking kitchen. I don't know, ladies, if your husbands cook like this, but every piece of fucking kitchen equipment was out and dirty on the counter. I just can't. And grease on the stove from the bacon, popping from the cheese coming out and the bacon bits once they mix it with the potato spetzel. It was just overwhelming, but I'm like, I'm going to let it go because he's going to clean up. I'm going to let it go. Then his mother calls. She's lost. Of course she is. So my parents are at this point are like, well, we were going to go anyway. We were only going to wait for her. But since we know she's lost again, we're not waiting for another hour because we want to go home. So they go home and it's dinner time. The whole kitchen's up for grabs. And my husband is walking around on his phone talking to his mother because he has a Google tracker on her. And she's like in the town south of us. So she's driven past our house. So, and she'll just keep driving. Like she won't pull over and be like, wait. And then apparently her battery is like at 9% on her phone. That's all I heard in the background. The harushki is on the stove. And if you guys know what happens to starches, like what happens to mashed potatoes if you leave them? They clump up, right? So it's basically one big clump of fucking noodles with bacon on it. I'm literally gagging looking at it. The whole kitchen's dirty. So what do I start doing? I start cleaning the fucking kitchen. Let's be honest. Okay? Because it's all grease. So if I want it, Mr. Sith does not clean the stove, the countertops, the exhaust. That never gets cleaned. For some reason, that doesn't qualify as being part of cleaning the kitchen. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to do this anyway because he's not gonna. So let me just clean all the fucking dishes. So I cleaned up the dishes, all the fucking mess, all the pots, all the pans, except for the pan it was in. And then he's still not in. Now it's way after 5. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're not even going to come in and explain to me, I made you dinner, honey. Sure you did, but whatever. And if you want to sit down and eat, like, what could I do for you? Nope. This has totally become all about his mom, who he never fucking talks to unless she gets lost on the phone coming to my house. So I'm like, okay, like you can't make this shit up, peeps. You just can't, friends. You just can't. But what you can do is put your foot down. And I'm going to have to do that once again, because I don't care if people make me out to be the bad guy anymore. Some people just simply do not understand the depth of their dysfunction and their rudeness and just inhospitality. Like it's just so inhospitable and I'm trying to think of the word. I always open my home up to people and I get nothing in return. No thanks, no gratitude. I'm talked shit about. It's just, and I just won't tolerate it anymore. And so rather than have a beef with everybody, I'd rather just do what I did. And that is, I'm not hosting stuff anymore. But nobody seems to understand that I'm not hosting shit anymore. Specifically, Mr. Sith's mother. Now, I then started thinning the halushki. The only way to do this at this point is to add milk. And oh yeah, I've been doing plant-based and I really have a dairy intolerance. So let me add that to the special dinner that people made for Me. So I'm adding like milk to this to loosen this fucking slop up so people can eat it. They come in. She finally arrives. Peter comes in. Bob, get there. Bob, get there. Yeah, that's great. That's his babka. They can enjoy each other. And then she comes in. Nobody says a fucking word to me. Right? Not a fucking word to me. They all sit at the table. And my husband proceeds to start telling her how they made harushki. And here's me. Oh, wait. Am I serving everybody now? Oh. Oh, okay. Well, I already know that Peter doesn't eat halushki. He doesn't like the feta cheese. So I'm going to have to make him dinner now. So I served my mother-in-law and my husband, who has probably yet to notice I cleaned the kitchen. And then I put mine in a bowl, but I'm not eating it yet because I have to make something for Peter. So I threw together some chicken meatballs and some macaroni and cheese and then gave that to him. And then I had to reheat my food in the microwave because now it's just a clump. And so I ate it and then I cleaned up everybody's plates. And then I'm like, yeah, I hope you're not expecting cake or anything or coffee because I hadn't planned on having anybody over today. I mean, I didn't say that to her, but I just went on the couch and sat down and crocheted. And then some crazy shit happened after with her conversation. She has issues with telling the full story. Everything always is like super sketch and whatever. And I'm used to that in my family. So you can't like pull one over on me. And she wound up leaving and that's great. She called like 2 hours later to say she got home. And I'm like, yeah, oh, okay. But that was my Mother's Day. And I just thought, I'm not sad by it because I made my own fucking plans this year because I knew that this shit goes on every fucking year. And so I'm like, I need to make sure somehow that Peter knows this is not how Mother's Day goes for his wife or for me in the future. And I told him I appreciated that he had a card specifically for me, regardless of who bought it for him, but that it's always nice to kind of make a little something and do special things for mommy and that kind of stuff. That it's the one day that I get and that your wife may get when you have kids. And it's the day that everything is done for her. And he really, really got it. I could tell from his eyes because they were like welling up. And he goes, yeah. And then I knew he got it because he said, yes, because I don't want my wife to have to feel like you do. And I thought, ding, 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 ding. Someone gets it. I've done my job here. So I will continue working on Mr. Sith and his ineptitude when it comes to this shit. But it's just crazy. And then to the next day, having to do the whole room. My floors are still not done. They are filthy. But I'm all flared out now. So it's going to take me a while this week. I'm going to have to do bit by bit by bit to get it done because I'm just too, I got to take care of my body. And I got a ton of stuff to do this weekend. And so I want to get it all done and be able to do it without suffering because I have to do stuff. And that's, I'm going to leave you guys with that final point today in that if you know people with autoimmune, this is separate from the mom issue, please treat your moms and your wives like the queens they are. Please, people, the queens they are. Because dads, if you could have kids, we would treat you like fucking kings. But you can't. So stop. And start elevating moms. We are so overstimulated that people think we're angry. We are so crying in closets and bathrooms by ourselves and still getting up and feeding you son of a bitches every day. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's refreshing to me that we are at a point in the world. Number one, I don't like that we still have to bitch about this because to get it done. But that number two, I love the fact that we have a voice for this. There is a platform like this podcast, and I will keep yelling it from the top of my lungs. And for the people in the back, that this needs to stop. We need to start respecting and praising and worshiping and just, I mean, not worshiping like God, but you know what I mean? Like, treat them like the queens that we are. Because you can't do it. And if you can't do it, somebody else will do it. Could you imagine how much more I could get done if I felt super appreciated 100% of the time? Girl, I could probably fucking do all the sidewalks and dig a hole in the backyard and make my own pool. I am not even joking. Legit, okay? That's how much I could get done. Because I know what I get done now, not feeling well. So just keep working on it, ladies. You're not alone. If you had a great Mother's Day, you deserve it, sis. And you enjoy every single moment that you had. I just wish you could feel that way 365 days a year. But I will take the day. And I'm going to keep fighting for my day until one day I get that damn day. I will talk to you guys on Wednesday. Until next week, lead with kindness. Bye.